How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. Do another first thoughts. If you like these first thoughts, remember to comment down below what you're going to do with the deck. If you're going to build this commander, this time it's Lurrus of the Dream Den. If you're going to build that, let me know down below. Let me know what your tech is going to be. Send me a list if you want to. I'd love to see it. Like this video if you enjoyed it and you got anything from it. Subscribe to the channel. Press that bell if you don't want to miss anything. And check me out on Patreon if you really want to support the channel. And we're going to hop into this. So, Lurrus is pretty cool. You can cast a permanent with CMC 2 or less from your graveyard each turn, or each of your turns. And its companion is interesting because you can't have any permanent cards with CMC higher than 2. So, that just emphasizing on permanent there just because of the fact that that's something that you might miss at first glance. You can have other spells with higher CMC as long as they're not permanents. But I'm talking about it as a commander, not a companion, so we're just going to hop into that. So CMC does not matter for this because of the fact that it is going to be the commander. But I am going to start with a bunch of CMC 2 stuff. Because this is all stuff that has a sacrifice trigger or a sacrifice ability on it that you can recur and get a lot of value from. So I've got a pretty sizable list here of stuff that can just be the bulk of the deck that's just stuff that you're going to want to recur over and over and over again. Birth of Meletis, it's a good saga that you could use. Max of the Balance is really cool because you can cast Balance multiple times in a game using that. Philidor Cub, you can use Bounty Agent, which is a good removal card, especially against commanders. Angelic Renewal, that's a nice way to repeatedly, basically reanimate, but it's immediate reanimation. Sorry about that. Soul Snare, it's cool removal. It stops you from wanting to attack you. Dispeller's Capsule, Lotus Bloom, Black Lotus LED, all of that. Fantastic. Except, I mean, obviously, Black Lotus is not legal. Same thing with Lotus Petal. You could use that. Free mana every turn. Dauntless Bodyguard, it gives you an indestructible, the ability to give something indestructible. You can use Sunbeam Spellbomb, Ronin Unicorn, good removal. Seal of Cleansing, same thing. Mind Stone, because you can draw cards with it. It's a mana rock that you can draw cards with, costs less than 2 or less. Expedition Map is nice because you can go and grab Cabal Coffer or Urborg, play it, next turn, recast Expedition Map, go and get Cabal Coffers, play it, bam. A lot of mana. Torwad's Crypt, very good. And the Hill Spellbomb, good ways to destroy graveyards. Selfless Spirit, Armillary Spear, Traveler's Amulet, both those go and get lands from your deck and put them into your hand. Apprentice Necromancer is a good way to just reanimate. Hope of Giriper, that seems like an interesting card in the deck. Execution Capsule, Executioner's Capsule, good removal. You got stuff like Urza's Bauble, and what's the other Bauble called? Mishra's Bauble. Both of those are nice that you can play and use over and over. You can use Welding Jar. I'm not really sure what you'd use it for, but it's an option. Bag of Holding is an interesting card in the deck. Glaring Spotlight, good way to give hexproof or remove give your stuff hexproof, and lets you continuously remove hexproof from your opponent's stuff. Remorseful Cleric, and yeah. So it didn't take me a lot of searching to find all that, and there's definitely a lot more good stuff out there that you could use in the same category. Those are just the first things that I was able to find, and all of them seem pretty solid. This is a lot of solid cards to run, that especially if you can recur, and that's what you're going to be doing with this deck. Then you got stuff like Animate Dead and Dance of the Dead, which are just within the cost and really good to recur and play from your graveyard. Mere Retriever is very nice. Being able to get artifacts back, it's pretty good. Kaya's Ghost Form is pretty sweet. Basically makes it so your commander is very, very hard to kill. You can just keep replaying it on it. Leonin Relic Warden, good way to remove artifacts repeatedly. On Thin Ice, just really, really good removal. And And yeah. So now I'm going to go into stuff that cares about 2 CMC stuff. You can do stuff like a Johnny, Adversary of Tyrants, which can reanimate a 2 CMC creature or less. Bygone Bishop lets you investigate whenever they enter. Gruesome Menagerie gets you a 1, 2, and 3 CMC creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield. 1 and 2 is going to be often hits, and 3, it could even hit your commander. Return to the Ranks, a really, really good reanimation spell there. Unearth, same thing, 1 mana though. Recruiter of the Guard or Captain Ranger of Eos, both those are tutors that can get you stuff that works well in the deck. Grab you like Giver of Runes / Mother of Runes, anything like that. Many 1 CMC stuff, it's really good. Mentor of the Meek, you can have a lot of small creatures. You can draw a lot of cards off that. And you're going to want sack outlets. So there's some sack outlets that are also within the CMC cost of 2 mana. Those include stuff like Claws of Gix, Viscera Seer, Carrion Feeder, Ailey, and Witch's Oven. All of them seem pretty solid in the deck. And sack outlets are really good in this because you can a lot of recursion. Another way you can build this deck though is you can build it more Hate Bear style and more stacksy. There's a lot of CMC2 stacks pieces that you could throw into this deck and just be able to recur over and over and over and really give your opponents a hard time, including stuff like Winter Orb. Sun Cleanser is a pretty good way to remove counters. Null Rod, Damping Sphere, Kataki War's Wage, Thalia, Hushbringer, Thorn of the Amethyst, Deafening Silence, Imposing Sovereign, into Kotli Honor Guard were the first few that I was able to pick up on and thought of. So all those work really well on the deck. You could definitely build a good stack stick out of this, and it's going to be annoying because it's a stack stick that would requires your opponents to exile stuff to be able to actually remove it, because you're going to be able to recur everything very, very easily. Seems very strong. And there's a lot of talk about this card in Legacy and Vintage. I know this is off topic, but this card could... people are talking about it being the next, like, Underworld Breach. Like, this thing could end up getting banned because it can get... there's a number of decks out there that don't need to change a single thing and can have this thing just be in the companion, or maybe change, like, a couple cards, and this thing could be your companion, and suddenly your deck is insane. Because, like, this with Black Lotus, it's... like, say you have Black Lotus in your starting hand, play Black Lotus, crack it, play it from the companion zone, recast Black Lotus, it's like you didn't do anything. So, it's fantastic. You can just get a free Black Lotus every turn with this thing. Same thing with Lion's Eye Diamond. Really, really good in Legacy. And yeah. That's what I have for Lurrus. Of the Dream Den, this is probably... this and Obosh, I would think, are the 2 best companion commanders. And I think this one might be the most fun to play just because there's a lot more you can do with it, a lot more interaction, and just a lot of value. And I'm a big fan of value decks. So if you enjoyed this video, remember, comment down below. Let me know if you're going to build Lurrus. And if you do, and I missed anything really sweet to put in it, let me know. And I would love to see a deck list if you have one built. If you plan on building one, just send it my way. Put it in the comment section. Anyone that's watching the video will probably appreciate it as well. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you really want to make sure you don't miss anything, press that bell icon. I got a lot of stuff coming, a lot of cool ideas coming down the tube, and you're not going to want to miss it. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon if you really want to support the channel. Helps a lot. Don't have a lot of patrons, but if you join, then you can join us in Discord. Discord features the patrons, plus basically anyone that was featured in videos. For the most part, it's people from the CJDH series, which is our gameplay series. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.